nice 1 inch by 1 inch chunks or so, a little bigger. It'll be a little smaller. That way when you cook the process, it's going to cook down a little bit, but it won't be so small that it ain't worth using. So that was one that just happened to cut out to a decent size, so we'll go ahead and throw that in there. So like I said, just little 1 by 1 inch chunks. I don't know if there's a real reason or rhyme for doing chunks like that. It's just the way I've always done it. I believe I read about it, doing it there one time, so that's the way I do it. And some of these meats, especially when you get down to, I guess called the calves of a deer, whatever, they got a lot of the tendons and stuff in there that you can't hardly get out when you clean it. But when you pressure can your meat, most of that will get real soft, if not all of it, real soft and tender. You won't even know it's there when you eat it. So, not a big deal about leaving some of that in there. Alright, so I'm just going to keep doing that to this pile, but I'll continue with you. I'm going to cut this up, not bore you with how to cut it all, cutting the whole pile up, but I'll get back with you when we continue the process. So, you want to put a half a teaspoon in each jar of bouillon or salt. I prefer beef bouillon. Then you take your meat and just start packing it in there. This is the raw pack method. It's not FDA approved or ball method approved. They want you to cook your meat a little bit. I think it gets cooked plenty enough. When I'm pressure canning it for the hour and 15 minutes. So, if you want to do it this way, this is one way of doing it. Not necessarily the correct way, but by no means is it the wrong way. It's been done like this for a long time. So we have several of these jars packed in here. Go ahead and finish packing these jars. Alright, now that we got our jars all packed with the meat, got my cleaning supplies for the tops of the lids and my little magnet so we can start putting the jars together. Okay, so now we got the jars all packed in the meat. We're going to want to take hot water, fill the jars up with 1 inch of headspace. It ain't gonna take much water because you got meat packs in there pretty tight to where there ain't got a whole lot of room in there. This process also helps take the air bubbles out of your jar. After you get filled with water and get the air bubbles out, I'm just going to take a paper towel, get some warm water, wipe the edge down real good, make sure there's no fat or nothing on there. Get a lid that I've had soaking in hot water. Center your lid on there and put your cap on, just a finger tight. And repeat the process. Clean the jar top. Put the cap on. Tighten your ring. Finger tight. Just like that. And I'll finish these other 6 jars and we'll get back to you when we put them in the canner. 8-pint jars of deer meat in the pressure canner. Okay, the jars are in the pressure canner. We'll put the lid on. Make sure you can see through your valve there. That's where your shaker goes. Check your safety plug there and make sure that your pressure valve will go up and down easily. Other than that, line up all your markings, secure down, and let it get hot. You'll start seeing steam out your valve there. Let it bleed off for 10 minutes. Once it starts steaming, then you can put your shaker on. Let it start steaming, we'll get back to you. It's starting to steam now, so we'll let it steam for 10 minutes to get all the air bubbles out. And then we'll be able to put the shaker on. Okay, we're about 5 minutes through the bleeding of the pressure cooker. The popper is up. And we're still letting steam out for about another 5 minutes. So we've let it bleed out now for 10 minutes. We're going to put the stopper on. We're going to let it come up to 10 pounds of pressure, because that's the pounds of pressure we need for where I live. And then we're going to let it go for an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, we're setting that 10 pounds of pressure. The shaker's shaking, and now we're going to let it go for an hour and 15 minutes for pints, an hour and a half for quarts. We got all pints, so we're going an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, it's been an hour and 15 minutes, so we're going to shut it off, and we're going to let it slowly come down from pressure. The shaker will stop, that'll fall, and then we can open it up. It'll be zero, pressure will be zero when we can open it up. It'll take a while, so it'll probably take a good hour, so we'll be back after that. Okay, I let my canner set overnight to cool down. Pressure's down to zero, popper's down. Take the shaker off. Now we can open it. Pull the jars out. There's the canned meat. I will set them on here and let them finish cooling off. And there we go, 8-pint jars of deer meat. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.